Hello students, welcome back to our YouTube channel Geeks for Geeks GATE Computer Science and DA. So in this video we are going to discuss LU decomposition, and in GATE exam there are lots of question gets asked. So till last class what we have discussed homogeneous and non-homogeneous system of linear equation. So till now whatever topics we have covered, we have started with matrices. I'll just give you a quick overview till now what we have discussed. Just a minute. Let's just wait for a minute. Okay. So basically, till now what we have discussed, matrices. And then we have discussed types of matrices, and also we have covered determinant, and I told you to work on inverse by yourself, right? You already have studied that at school level, but just go through that inverse topic by yourself, right? And then we have discussed rank, and then we have discussed homogeneous and non-homogeneous system of linear equation, homogeneous and non-homogeneous system, right? And I assume that you have worked on all the topics and with all the questions. Now the question arises that what is a LU decomposition of a matrix, right? I just have to work on LU decomposition. How to find out an LU decomposition? So if I'll talk about LU decomposition, as you can see that I just want to decompose my matrix into two matrices. A is equals to LU, where L is lower triangular and U is upper triangular. That's why I have told you that whatever topics we have covered, we have already covered types of matrices, and we know that what is a lower triangular matrix and what is an upper triangular matrix. I'll just give you an overview. Lower triangular matrix is a matrix in which we have all the elements above the diagonal are 0, right? And upper triangular matrix in which we have all the elements below the diagonal are 0. Right, that is my LU decomposition. So I have to find out LU decomposition of a matrix A. How would I find out? So what is LU decomposition? LU decomposition is basically decomposing the matrix into lower triangular and upper triangular. So let's say A is a 3 cross 3 matrix. So L would be of order 3 cross 3 and U would be of order 3 cross 3. L would be L11, L12. Sorry, it is a lower triangular matrix, so this is 0. I'll write down L21, L22, 0, L31, L32, L33. This is my lower triangular matrix, because in lower triangle we have the values. U is upper triangular. What would be U matrix? U matrix would be U11, U12, U13 and 0, U21, U22 and U23, 0, 0, U33. So this is my upper triangular matrix. So I just want to decompose my matrix A into two parts, L matrix and U matrix. Now one thing to note here is that to get this A is equals to LU, you would not be able to solve with these L as lower triangular and U as upper triangular. Why? You have to take either diagonal of L as 1 or diagonal of U as 1. So for LU decomposition, it's up to me, or whatever we have given in the question. For LU decomposition, either take diagonal of L as 1 or diagonal of U as 1, right? So it's up to you, either you want to take diagonal of L as 1 or diagonal of U as 1. If they are not mentioning it in the question, though, so you can either take diagonal of L as 1 or you can take diagonal of U as 1. But if they have mentioned in the question, then you have to take that accordingly. But again, the question arises how we are going to find out. Let's consider this matrix 2187, and I am going to find out lower and upper triangular decomposition, and I am going to show you both the things taking diagonal of L as 1 and diagonal of U as 1. So in this matrix I am taking, let's say L, I am taking a matrix as diagonal of L as 1. So I am writing it as L1, right? And let's take it as L1, and U I am taking as U1, U2, U3, and here 0. Now you would say that, ma'am, in last slide you have shown us that you are going to take the matrix in the format L11, L22, but here you have written L1. This is only a notation, right? Either you can write down this element as, what would be this element? L21, and this would be U11, U12, and this would be U22. Right, so you can, it's up to you how you want to denote. I just know the position, so I'm not writing L11, U11. So how would I find out? I'll write down 1, this would be 0 because it is lower triangular. L1, 1, and here I have U1, U2, 0, U3. I'll multiply it. So what would I get? 2, 1, 8, 7. What would be the right matrix? U1, U2, and it would become L1, U1 and L1, U2 plus U3. Now I can compare the values. If I'll compare the values, U1 is 2 and U2 is 1 and L1, U1 is 8. L1, U1 is 8. So with the U1 is already 2. So I can just replace this 2. So I'll get L1 is equals to 4. And now this L1, U2 plus U3 is equals to 7. So L1 is 4, U2 is 1, U3 is 7, equals to 7, so U3 would become 3. So I got these matrices, L1, I got all these values. Now let's just substitute the values to get the matrix. So the matrix would become, this matrix L would be 1, 1, and L1 is 4 and this one is 1, and U is what? U1, 2, 1, 0, 3. And now you can just check that after multiplying you are getting this matrix or not. There is no need to find out this matrix A. I just want to check. You can just check 1 into 1, 1 into 2 plus 1 into 0. That would gives you 2. 1 into 1, 1 into 3. L into U. अच्छा ये 0 होगा ना, sorry. This would be term 0. Now it is correct. 1 into 1, 0 into 3, 1. 2 into 4, 1 into 0, 8. 1 into 4 plus 1 into 3, that would be 7. So I got LU decomposition of the matrix. Now for the same matrix, what would I do? I am going to find out LU decomposition taking diagonals of U as 1 and LS, right, for the same matrix. So the matrix was this one, 2, 1, 8, 7, right? The matrix was this one. So I'll do the reverse part. Another method, another one. Okay. A is equals to 2, 1, 8, 7. This is my matrix. Now I am going to find out LU decomposition. Let's suppose L matrix is what? L1, 0, L2, L3, and U matrix is, now I'll take diagonals of U as 1. If you are not taking diagonals of U and diagonals of L both are not 1, then you are not able to solve it. अगर तुम यहाँ पे भी, if you would take U1, U2 at diagonals, you would not be able to solve it. Why? Because you would have 6 variables and number of equations would be 4, and you are not able to find out those values, right? So it would become 1, 1, 0, U1. Now I'll multiply L1, U1. L1 LU, so I'll get 2, 1, 8, 7 because LA is equals to LU. That is equals to L1, I'll multiply here, L1 and L1 U1, L1 U1, L2 and L2 U1 plus U3. Right, now I can compare the values. What would be the values? L1 is 2, L1 U1 is 1, gives me U1 is equals to 2 and L2 is equals to 8, L2 U1 plus U3 is equals to 7. Right, L2 is 8, U1 is 2 plus U3 is, U3 you need to find out, 7. So U3 I get here as minus 9. So now I'll write down all the values what I am getting. So this L matrix is L1, L2, L3. 2, 8 and L3. Have I done any mistake here? एक minute. L1, L1, U1, L2. Okay. Actually, this is not U3 na? That's the mistake. This is basically L3 है ना? गलती से मैंने वहाँ पे U1 is equals to 2. This is L3, this is L3, this is L3. So 0 minus 9. U में तो एक ही वैल्यू चाहिए थी ना? U is equals to 1, U1 is 2, 0 and 1. Now you can check by multiplying. So 2 into 0 you would get it as, एक बार चेक कर लेते हैं, have we done everything correct? L1, L1 U1, L2, L2 U1 plus L3, right? L1 is 2, L2 is 8, L1 U1, U1 would become 2 and L2 into U1, 8 into 2, 16 and that would be minus 9. Everything we have done. Calculation error कर दिया ना, right? Calculation error कर दिया. दोबारा से solve करते हैं. थोड़ा सा calculation error कर दिया, उस वजह से matrix गलत हो गई. Let's solve it once again. तो calculation, guys, just solve it carefully because there might be a chances that like we do calculation error. So L1 U1 is 1. So what it would become? L1 is 2. U1 is 1, equals to 1, so U1 would become 1 by 2. Now it is correct, right? And L2 is 8, so L2 U1 plus L3 is equals to 7. So L2 is 8, U1 is 1 by 2 and L3 is 7, equals to 7. So L3 would become 3. Now it is correct. So I got all the values. You can find out now L and U matrix. So what would be the L matrix? L matrix would be L1, that is 2, 0, L2 is 8, L3 is 3 and U is, so that's why like it is important, guys, to check the answer at the end by multiplying. So I'll check again. 2 into 1, 2 into 1 by 2, 1, 8 into 1, 8 into 1 by 2 plus 3. That would gives me 7. Now it is correct. Now it is correct LU decomposition. So like do one thing every, like after solving, just check it once, right? So let's solve some gate question. So see, I told you that they are going to, achha, one more thing I have to add on, that if they haven't mentioned that diagonal of U as 1 or diagonal of L as 1, then you can get more than one LU decomposition. This is also a LU decomposition and this is also, and both are different metrics. You can just check that. You can just compare. For the same matrix A, you are getting two different LU decomposition. But when they have mentioned diagonal elements of U are both 1, then you would get only unique LU decomposition, right? So now let's find out diagonal entries of U both have to take as 1 and U1, L22 you need to find out. So इसमें entry L22 के form में दी हुई है तो इसको L22 ही लिख लेते हैं. This is L, L11, L12, 0, L22. Sorry, 0, L21, L22. What you need to do? You need to solve A is equals to LU. A is matrix 2 2 4 9, 2 2 4 9 and L is मल्टीप्लाई कर लो L और U का, तो L11, L11 U12 and L21 and L21 U12 plus L22. Now you can compare the values to find out all the values here, right? So what would I do? I'll compare here. Let's compare. L11 is equals to 2. If you would compare here, what you would get? L11 is equals to 2. L11 U12 is equals to 2. On solving U12, L11 को 2 substitute करेंगे, we will get U12 as 1. Now L21 is 4 and then they have said that L21 U12 into U12 plus L22 is equals to 9. L21 is 4, U12 is 1, L22 is equals to 9. So you can solve for L22. L22 would become 5. Right? So 5 is an answer. So option B is correct. And this is a gate question. Right? This is a gate question. So LU decomposition you can find out like this. So now everyone knows how to find out an LU decomposition. Guys, see, this is, you have to just let me know in chat section later on in comment section that what would be trace of L is. So diagonal elements of U are both 1 and trace of L you need to find out. So now there's like they are not asking for you the specific value. What is trace of L? Trace of L is nothing but sum of diagonal entries of L. So just do that and you would get the result. Now, next we have this 3 cross 3 matrix. As you can see, this matrix 6, 18, 3, 2, 12, 1 and 4, 15, 3. We know that if we try to solve this matrix, using LU decomposition, right, this longer method, how many variables we have? Because we have, like for 2 cross 2 matrix, I just need to solve 4 variables. If I'll write down LU decomposition here, what would be my LU decomposition? Let's take, I am taking diagonal entries of L as 1. I am taking diagonal entries of L as 1. 0, 0. It would become L21, L22 and L31, L32. This is my lower triangular matrix, and upper triangular matrix would be U11, U12, U13, 0, U22, U23 and 0, 0, U33. Now you can see that to solve this LU decomposition for a 3 cross 3 matrix, how many values I need to find out? I need to find out 9 values, and it would get really lengthy to multiply this and this matrix and compare it with the A matrix, right? So for 3 cross 3 matrix, I am going to use another method which I'll say row reduction. What would I do? If I'll row reduce this matrix, we know that if I row reduce it, this matrix, I'll get it as an upper triangular matrix. Obviously, now when you row reduce, what you do? You would make all the elements below the diagonal or below the pivot entry are 0. So same thing I am going to do here. And simultaneously, I'll make a matrix L. So L matrix ke liye, I am writing it here. What I have to do for L matrix? L matrix ke liye, I just need to fill, I need to fill these values. यहाँ पे एक value fill करनी है, यहाँ पे एक value, यहाँ पे एक value. I need to fill these 3 values to make this matrix L, and I am going to row reduce it to get an upper triangular matrix, right? So let's do that. So what would I do? R2 tends to R2, इसको 0 बनाना है ना? What I need to do for row reduction or to make it an upper triangular matrix, I have to make this value 0 and this value 0. I have to make these 2 values 0. So how would I make that? So R2 tends to R2 minus 1 by 3 R1. Can I do that to make this value 0? Similarly, I'll do here R3 tends to R3 minus 2 by 3 R1. I am applying these operations. Now what would it become? Now if you would solve it, 6, 8, 10, 3, 0, 12 minus 3 into 1 by 3 into 18. That means 12 minus 6. You would get it as 6. 1 minus 2 minus 1. Right? Sorry, no, 1 minus. ये तो 0 हो जाएगा ना. It would be a 0 value. Right, chalo. Let's move forward. R3 minus 2 by 3 R3. This would be 0. 15 minus, this would gives me 3, and 3 minus 2, that would gives me 1. Right? This is my row reduction. Abhi, we have to move forward, but you can see that these 2 values would become 0 after this pivot entry, but I haven't filled these values. Now the question, like you are going to ask that, ma'am, we have filled a value, like we are trying to, we'll make a upper triangular matrix here, but how I am going to work on lower triangular matrix simultaneously? So you can see that यहाँ पे we made these two values 0, this one and this one 0, और किसकी help से बनाया? R2 में I have subtracted 1 by 3 R1, R3 में I have subtracted 2 by 3 R1. So just take this and take this and take a negative, जो भी constant I am multiplying with R1 to get a value 0 in R2 and R3, just take that. Negative of 1 by 3, so it would become, I'll multiply it with negative sign, so it would become 1 by 3. Because here we have subtracted, here I am going to add. Here I have subtracted, here I am going to add 2 by 3. Everyone gets this? Just go through this concept once in your mind, that what we have done here. I basically, what I have done, I have subtracted 1 by 3 from R1 and 2 by 3 from R1 to make the value 0 here, here. So I have added 1 by 3 here and 2 by 3 here. Right, 1 by 3 and 2 by 3. Just position पे 0 बनाने के लिए जिसकी help ली है, just change that only. Now what would I do? I'll make this value 0. So what would be the operation? Again, operation would be R3 tends to R3 minus 1 by 2 R2. Right? So what would it become? 6, 8, 10, 3, 0, 6, 0, and it would be 0, 0, 1. Right? This is my row reduced format, and because I have subtracted 1 by 2 here, with the help of R2, I'll add 1 by 2 here. So this is my lower triangular and upper triangular. So instead of getting it into finding variables and multiplying two matrices, I just have row reduced and get my lower triangular and upper triangular matrix. Right? So now you can check by multiplying these matrices. So L is what? L matrix you got as 1, 0, 0, 1 by 3, 1, 0, 2 by 3, 1 by 2, 0, and U matrix is 6, 8, 10, 3, and 0, 6, 0, 0, 0, 1. Now you are going to multiply this matrix. Just check that. First row would be 6, 18, 3, and then I'll go for next row 2s, and 3 6 are 18, 6 and 6 12. I'll get 12. 1 by 3 that would gives me 1. 2 by 3 1 by 2. अच्छा ये 1 होगा ना, इसीलिए सही रहता है, चेक कर लो. Right? 2 by 3 is 4. ठीक है, 6 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे. 2 by 3 with multiplied gets 18, 12, and plus 3 15. Right? 2 by 3 into 3 2, and this would be 0 and this would be 1. So I'll get 3. So A is equals to LU. I have checked that. A is equals to LU. So like I have found out here LU decomposition. So let's do in one more matrix so that we'll be able to practice, and later on we are going to discuss that why the requirement of LU decomposition. अच्छा चलो पहले ये discuss कर लेते हैं why there is a requirement of LU decomposition. So what would we do? I'll take this x1, x2, x3. This is my system. x1, x2, x3 is equals to 1. 3x1 plus x2 minus 3x3 is equals to 5, and x1 minus 2x2 minus 5x3 is equals to 10. I am just checking that what is the need of LU decomposition. So here this A matrix would be 1 1 1 3 1 minus 3 1 minus 2 minus 5. Right? This is my A matrix. I have to like this system of linear equation is AX equals to B. Right? So I am just going to solve system of non-homogeneous system of linear equation using LU decomposition. Right? So what you are going to do? You are going to first find out LU decomposition. I'll take L matrix as here 1 1 1, and this would be 0 0 0. Let's just row reduce it. R2 tends to R2 minus 3 R1. R2 minus 3 R1, and R3 tends to R3 minus R1. What would I get? I'll get 1 1 1 0 1 minus 3 minus 2 minus 3 minus 3 minus 6. R3 minus 1 minus 3 minus 5 minus 1 minus 6. I think everything is correct. Just check the calculation, guys, because sometimes like there like on solving on board there might be a possibility that sometimes we make any error. So just check it carefully. 3 minus 3, 1 minus 3 is minus 2, minus 3 minus 3 minus 6, 1 minus 1. ठीक है, calculation is correct. Now because I have subtracted 3 from here, I'll add 3. I have subtracted 1 from here, I'll add 1. ठीक है, like what we have done in the previous question. Now later on again I'll apply operation R3 tends to R3 minus 3 by 2 R2. Right, what would I get? 1 1 1 0 minus 2 minus 6, this would remain same, and this would become 0 0 because we are subtracting 3 by 2. 2 3s are 6, 3 3s are 9, minus 6. So we get this matrix. This is L, this is U, and you can just multiply. L would be, here I'll have 3 by 2. Right? Now you can check that you after multiplying. Let me check by myself first कि I am getting a correct answer or not. I always check. ठीक है, 1 और इसकी -2 मिलेगा मुझे, 1 3 4 and -9 -5. ठीक है, L and U I am getting it as correct. So you would say that ma'am this तो we have already done, you do not have done anything new, right? So why there is a need? So I told you I am going to use this to solve system of linear equation Ax equals to B. So what I told you that Ax equals to B, I need to solve. I'll write down A की जगह I'll replace it with Lux equals to B. Now Ux can I write down it as Y? Let's write down Ly is equals to B. What is L matrix? L matrix I had previously was 1 3 1 1 0 0 3 1 0 and this is 1 I think 3 by 2 0. Sorry, it is 1. I think these are the values now. Now instead of finding out X, I'll find out Y1, Y2, Y3 and the right hand side was B. Right hand side was B. B is 1, 5 and 10. 1, 5 and 10. So if I'll solve, Y1 would become 1, 3Y1 plus Y2 would become 5 and so it would become 3 minus 5. So Y2 would become 2 and Y1 plus 3 by 2 Y2 plus Y3 would become 10. So on solving you would get Y3 as 6. So you would get the vector Y1, Y2, Y3 as 1, 2, 6. But you would say that we do not have to find out Y1, Y2, Y3. You all by yourself introduce this vector and now you are saying that you have solved for Y. But we need to find out X na. So one thing I know that I have taken Ux is equals to Y. U is the matrix. Let me write down, check the U matrix. U matrix is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, minus 2, minus 6 and 0, 0, 3. If I am correct. Haan, yeah. So I'll write down here x1, x2, x3 and right side would be 1, 2, 6. So now on I'll solve now from bottom to top. So x3 would be 6 minus 2x2 minus 6x3 is equals to 2. So x2 would be minus 17 है ना, but check कर लो 36, 37, 38 minus 19 and x1 you would solve x1 plus x2 plus x3 is equals to what? Minus 19 plus 6 minus 13, so x1 is 14. So I get the values x1, x2, x3. एक बार मैं check कर लेती हूँ कि ये values सही मिली हैं कि नहीं मिली हैं, then I'll discuss. x2 minus 19 and x3 is 6. Right, let's just check. एक बार check कर लेते हैं. I'll use calculator for that to check कि values I am getting are correct or not. So 3 into 14 plus minus 19 minus 3 into 6, 5, right, that is correct. x1 14 minus 2 into minus 9 10 and minus 5 into 6. Got this value 14 minus 2 into minus 9 10. कुछ गड़बड़ हुई है गाइस. कैलकुलेशन चेक करते हैं एक बार पूरी आगे जाके. ये 1 5 10 किया था x3. एक बार चेक करो सब लोग कैलकुलेशन. y1 I got as 1, y2 I got as 2 and y3 I got as 6. बार चेक कर लेते हैं. 1 2 6 1 2 and ठीक है. लेफ्ट साइड हमने 1 5 और 10 नहीं ली थी ना. कैलकुलेशन में बहुत एरर देख लेना एक बार चेक करके. 1 2 और 6 मेरा वेक्टर बना. x3 6 minus 2x2 6 x3 6 6 are 36 37 38 minus 9 10. क्या एरर आ रहा है? एक बार चेक कर लेते हैं सब एरर. मैट्रिक्स सही बनी है कि नहीं बनी है, क्योंकि कुछ तो एरर आ रहा है, क्योंकि ये वैल्यू सैटिस्फाई नहीं कर रही है इसको. इट शुड सैटिस्फाई ना. Three ones are 3 minus 2, that would be 1, and 3 minus 6, that would be minus 3. 1 and minus 3, that would be minus 2. 1 minus 2 into 3 by 2 minus 6. एक मिनट. minus 2 नहीं, minus 3 ठीक है. लास्ट रो वुड बी 1 2 3s are 6 minus 9 plus 3 minus 5. दैट इज करेक्ट. ठीक है, मैट्रिक्स तो ठीक मिल रही है. आगे कैलकुलेशन में कुछ गड़बड़ हुई है क्या? 1 0 0 3 1 0 1 3 by 2 1. y1 is 1. ये 2 आ गया. 2 plus 2 plus what we get here. सिक्स आया. ये यहाँ पे भी ठीक था. माइनस 2x2. ये मैट्रिक्स सही लिखी है हमने. माइनस 2 माइनस 6 ठीक है. 3 हाँ यही था. x3 6. I got 6 are 36 37 38 2 1s are 2 and 9s are 18 minus 19 ठीक मिला है. minus 9 10 plus 6 minus 13 14 ठीक तो आ रहा है आंसर. फिर सेटिस्फाई क्यों नहीं कर रहे? जस्ट चेक इट. 14 minus 2 into 19 minus 14 plus 38 minus एक मिनट. x1 is 14 minus 14 plus 38 minus 30. अच्छा एक बार check it once all the calculation guys and let me know in chat section. ठीक है, एक बार सब लोग कैलकुलेशन चेक करेंगे और just let me know wherever you are getting this error, whatever the error I am getting, just check it. क्योंकि ऐसे कैलकुलेशन मिस्टेक आई एम नॉट एबल टू फाइंड आउट, बट पूरा कैंसिल आउट करके वी विल बी एबल टू फाइंड आउट. तो एक बार जस्ट लेट मी नो calculation error in chat section and we are going to continue in the next video. Calculation error here. ठीक है, let me know everyone what would be the calculation error, and we are going to continue in the next video. And also, like, we are going to continue LU decomposition, and we are going to find out A is equals to LU decomposition here in next video, where I'll take lower triangular entries as L11, L22, L33, U as diagonal entries of U as 1. So we are going to see that how to do that to get lower triangular entries L as like not 1, U as 1. We are going to see that, right? And so for that, just we are going to see that. And also one more thing, that you would ask me that why I am solving this question using this system of linear equation using this complex method LU decomposition. I can simply solve it using system of linear equation, right? Rank. I can solve it using rank, infinitely many solution, unique solution. I can find out the solution using that, and there would be lesser chances of getting a calculation error. So we are going to solve the questions by our method, which we have discussed in previous classes. But if they are going to mention that solve the system by LU decomposition and give us this and this value, so then we are going to use it LU decomposition. I'll show you the question which they have given us to find out the, like in GATE exam, to solve it by LU decomposition, then whenever it is required. But till then, guys, just let me know what is the calculation error here. We are going to continue next video from this topic onwards, right? This question onwards. Okay, so that's all for this video. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining.